What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. My Hero Academia, Season 8, Episode 3. So in this one, basically, All for One is like holding up All Might, basically his beaten body, and all cameras are on it. Basically, people around the world are seeing that All Might's about to get killed, and you see people basically you see some people praying for All Might to survive. You see people like say, "All Might, get up, get up," and basically you see that like how so then Deku wants to help All Might, but he can't because of Shigaraki. And like so then explosion god murder god Dynamite comes in and like basically he takes All Might out from that, saves him, and then basically he like coughs up some blood, so like Edge Shot of course had was sewing up like Bakugo's organs and all that. Basically very close to death. And so of course Dynamite's arm is broken, so All Might gives him like what's left of like his armor to help act as like a splint. So then Dynamite then fights All for One. Like so, All for One's trying to get to Deku and Shigaraki in order to take One for All, but Dynamite comes in, just starts attacking them, and like all cameras are watching it. Everyone sees Dynamite fighting All for One and doing some serious damage to him. Like, basically, so so then what happens is all for one, he's pissed off at seeing Dynamite. He doesn't know why, but then it's revealed that Dynamite looks like um he looks like the second One for All user, Kudo, who like basically lived during that whole like chaotic era where like basically One for All, like All for One was kind of like at his peak, and like basically a very dark period in the world. And so Kudo was the one who saved all like All for One's brother from from All for One, became the second user. And since Dynamite looks like Kudo, like similar hairstyle, similar appearance. Uh, All for One just immediately gets really pissed off, feels a lot of hatred from seeing like Dynamite, and yeah, so then he did and that's real like really it. So basically yeah, so obviously the fight between the two is going like the fight between the two is going to end, I believe, next week. So yeah, we'll see. I think we'll see the end of the fight next weekend. Frick, it is a great episode. Like, dude, the visuals from the fight between, like, from Dynamite's attacks are freaking incredible, and like his fight with All for One is just awesome. And you see one thing when All Might, he has like some hallucination where he sees Sir Night Eye, who tells him that basically the villain that was supposed to kill him in the future he saw was All for One, and basically the wills of all the people like praying for All Might's success, praying for someone to save him, and like asking like cheering for All Might. Basically, that prevented All Might's death. All Might was willing to accept death. I mean, one, because he's a hero, he's willing to sacrifice himself, and two, because the whole trope of mentor figures many times die. When they pass the torch to the next generation. It's a common trope and trope that can still work. And like basically, so before the whole Sir Night prophecy was revealed, most people were probably expecting All Might to die at some point. Like that, basically, his personality, his recklessness, combined with his injuries, would catch up to him. Like before Sir Night prophecy, but when the prophecy was revealed, and it was like, okay, we're gonna try to prevent it. People was like, okay, All Might's probably not dying. He's gonna live. Because if that prophecy was not a thing, All Might was probably kicking the bucket at some point. But overall, yeah, I thought this was such a great episode. I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Spy Family Season 3, Episode 3. So in this one, so see more of a Twilight's backstory and like basically so like so he's fighting the war between you see his childhood, so the war between Westalis and Estonia starts. Well, I guess one of multiple wars. And so basically it keeps going on. So you have, bomb raids. So he believes his friends are dead, and then like later a bomb attack kills like basically destroys his house, so seemingly his mother's dead now as well. And like so his father, like I'm guessing he's dead or some reason out of the picture for whatever reason. Like he's not shown to return, so he's probably dead. Unless something weird happens, which is possible. Um Twilight's father's gone. And like so basically after the death of his mother, so basically Twilight had like his real name's not revealed. Like anytime his real name's said, it's censored. So we don't even that's in the manga and in the anime. So currently we don't know what it is. And even in the manga, we do not know what it is yet. Or if they will reveal his real name. And then basically so you see him find the war. He's in the woods by himself. He sees an Estonian soldier, basically who's running away from the Estonian army. It's revealed to be Frankie. So it's the first time he meets Frankie. Basically, Frankie just wants to. So they talk for a little bit. Basically share some cigarettes. Basically, Frankie like Twilight says that like he that Estonia basically invaded Westalis. And they started it. And then Frankie says that basically that he was told that like he and all the other soldiers were told that Westalis started it, and that the first attack that um Twilight saw was actually a false flag in order to just potentially justify a war. Like that's like then it's right then Stallion soldiers like shoot them. Frankie runs away. Thanks Twilight for the cigarettes. Then Twilight just starts shooting at the soldiers. He gets hurt, so he gets sent to the rear line. And basically, his conversation with Frankie and also the war start disillusioning him from everything. And then he comes across his friends who he believed to be dead. So he's glad to see him. Now, he had been using a fake name. Basically, he lied in order to, I guess he was too young to enlist, so he lied, pretended to be someone who had died during the attack in order to enlist in the military and kill Estonians. So like so he said he reunites with his friends, and then they leave on a campaign that ends very badly, very rushed some poor planning that led to his friend's death. So all he has is their all that returns of them is their dog tags. So Twilight keeps their dog tags. And then while he's like preparing food, he's approached by a wise agent who reveals that he knows his real name and basically wants to recruit Twilight into, well, wise. Well, it says military intelligence, so it's wise. So then basically so like his CO like consented to the transfer, and so Twilight who like he's basically kind of blackmailed to join because if he doesn't join Wise, he'll be court-martialed for lying in his enlistment. Like basically for his enlistment he lied, and that is punishable. Like suspicion of espionage, it's illegal. So basically to avoid court-martial and to help end the war, he basically agrees to join, and he tells the recruiter that he doesn't care about whether or not Westalis wins. So the recruiter asks him why, and he sees some kids running. He says no particular reason. Now we know the reason is to make a world where no kid has to cry. So because of his past, so we know, so that ends you know, the, and so then we see him meeting the handler that he's worked with for a while, and I guess he starts his training. Let's just say I guess she is very hard on him, and then he wakes up like it's a nightmare. So yeah, so we see him so he wakes up, so remembering what happened. He's like, oh, that's right, he's in Lloyd Ford. He's like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm in Lloyd Forger's home. So then so basically they just the Forger family decides to eat. That's really it. So they see onions. So Lloyd tells Bond that he can't eat the onions, which I'm guessing dogs can't eat onions. I honestly never knew that was a thing. And then yours says, "Oh, I'll cook you up something nice, Bond." And Bond's like, crap." Yeah, I thought that bit was funny. So yeah, I really like this episode. Cool. Wars are obviously very. It's meant to be reminiscent of a lot of the bombing raids seen in World War II. You know, and how the war was. Because this is because Spy Family takes a lot of inspirations from the Cold War, World War II and all that. So s- so yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Kingdom season 6, episode 3. So in this one, basically all the preparations are completed to prepare for the march against Zhao. So it's announced that Wang Jian is the overall commanding officer for the invasion. And you have the mountain folk are joining the attack, like they're helping. And you see and so Shen's force is basically signed up, I guess, to be alongside the mountain folk technically, even though they're independent. And so Shin asks Zen to deliver him something. Basically, he gets Wang Yi's poleaxe, so he's finally able to handle the poleaxe. And then yeah, so from the first season when he's given it, so he now has it. He's very happy to have it. So yeah, so then and basically you see everyone cheering, and so then while everyone's marching, they're marching at regular speed. So the ones who know about the force that's attacking Ye. Um, so basically, Lian Dao like is concerned. Was like, hey, shouldn't we go faster? Then the Mountain Queen tells her, if we go too fast now, the tension will let the enemy know. So we gotta be more natural. But then Wang Jian gets some news, gets a message. Then uh, Limu gets some news. Basically, that Yan is attacking Zhao from the other side of the kingdom. So while Qin is attacking the western border, Yan's attacking the eastern border. So basically, it's about to be like a three-way fight, and that's gonna throw a lot of things into disarray. Like, basically, well, something's gonna have to go wrong somehow. So yeah, I really like this episode. Liked how all the like how they're setting up this big war, and I'm looking forward to the next episode. Through Your Eternity, Season 3, Episode 3. So in this one, everyone's trying to find Mizuha, and Fushi finds her. So it's real. She's at her grandfather's house reading some of the books. So she returns to her mother, like Izumi, and then so we see some of like Mizuha's backstory. So like basically she was like really good at everything. Basically she was like a prodigy at everything. Part of that's due to her family's background. And like so Izumi gives like Mizuha a hairpin, and then like basically like so you see that when she visited her grandfather, she Mizuho was told about the Guardians, how they were supposed to protect Fushi, and that basically she was like the next in line to be the head of it. And then you see like something with Mizuho's mind. Something happens where she's talking to her father, then randomly sees like a knife in her hand, like bloody knife, and she's like, "What?" And she finds her mother Izumi dead, and like so like basically her mental state has been an issue all her life. So like basically she didn't really have friends. Then when she got friends, she started being able to lean on them some. Like but now like with her mother now being dead, possibly by her hand, um, she she just has a mental breakdown, runs out of like the apartment or house, whatever, and like she comes across Fushi, and she asks Fushi to be her friend. And so basically, saying that like the knocker that's inside of her is starting to become a problem. And yeah, so basically, like it's possible that yeah, the knocker is an issue. Like yeah, so looks like the knockers aren't completely gone. So yeah, so this is a and basically so now that like she's like learning about the Guardians, I guess that really affected her mind. So Izumi, of course, did not want Mizuho to be involved with all that. And basically, but now Mizuho is basically forced now to be involved with it after what's happened. And then, yeah, so this is, man, this is gonna be insane. And like, yeah, so things are definitely picking up now. So yeah, after, all the setup. So yeah, I, really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Tojima wants to be a common rider, episode 3. So, that one guy, at the end, the previous episode had transformed into a Shocker combatant, showing that he's like an actual Shocker soldier. So yeah, so Tojima and Yuriko arrive there, and they come across each other. Tojima puts his mask on. Yuriko tells him off, saying basically mad that he's only using a mask. She puts on her entire out tackle outfit. So they get in there. So the Shocker combatant had beat up the cow and all his men, and so Tojima beats up the Shocker agent, like the Shocker combatant, and like basically being like pretty easily. So like they're brief fight, but like basically Tojima and Yuriko's strength is able to like allow them to easily beat up the guy. But a guy with silver hair comes in who can transform to a shocker monster, disintegrates the combatant and this customer who is live streaming the incident, and then leaving. And they're concerned, and Tojima and Yuriko believe that is a shocker monster. And they talk about what had just happened at a local restaurant, and that deal with the fact that Shocker is actually a real group. Then the manager of the restaurant, Mitsuba Shimamura, uh, overhears them talking about, introduces himself, tells them that he had came across Shocker when he was a kid. Now, Mitsuba's not. It basically is, before he can say anything more about about his experience with Shocker, Yuka Risu, who's his girlfriend, one of the waitresses, uh, basically takes away from there because he has to go back to work. So Tojima and Yuriko agreed to fight Shocker whenever I guess they start doing stuff, and they exchange contact information with Tojima. Obviously, not having a lot of experience with talking with women, trying to get her contact information, it's actually pretty funny. So at school the next day, and like so you have like obviously you have that one student who's into Yuriko that basically imagines like her like Yuriko in her outfit, and it's freaking funny. And then like so he sees like Yuriko and this one high school girl in like a closet, some storage closet. I think it was in the gym, basically talking. So basically, it seems like the girl's like trying to confess to Yuriko, but it's revealed to actually be Yukarisu who's threatening Yuriko. Says that any girl who's shown interest in Mitsuba, she's beaten up, and Yuriko assumes that Yukarisu is just jealous. It's just a jealous girlfriend, but says that she's actually an undercover shocker combatant, and she transforms and prepares to fight Yuriko. So yeah, so that happened. So I really like this episode. Obviously, like it's weird. Like so, Shocker is real. That's what we're getting. Shocker is real. Like it's definitely not what I would have expected to happen. But yeah, I really like this. Yeah, I really like this episode. Like they acknowledges how stupid it is, but also it's so freaking good. But yeah, overall, I really like this episode. Interesting more about how Shocker has infiltrated society within this world. So I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Pouring After the Apocalypse, Episode 3. So in this one, Irie and Yoko, they go to um They go to Setagaya, with which is one of the wards in Tokyo. Um, Shimbasi, um, Ariake, and Tokyo Big Sight. Basically, they go to Tokyo. They go to different areas in Tokyo. So you try around, basically showing that Yoko's trying to get like different QR codes that she and her sister got back when I guess before the apocalypse. And so like they're like traveling around and basically they come across I guess the ocean, so they put on their bathing suits, take a quick swim, and like yeah, and then they come across a radio that's being used, and you hear like one of the song hear Crossing Field, which is a song from you know Sword Art Online. Like that's one of the openings. Like it's the first opening. When I first heard, I was like, "Why the frick are they playing the Sword Art Online's first opening? The frick?" But then they say, "Hey, if there's a rail working, that means there's someone here." Like honestly, so I was like, "Oh, frick!" So other people could be around. There could be other people who are alive. So yeah, I really liked this episode. You know, liked how they're gradually setting up a lot of the lore for this series. Like there's a lot of setup going on. Regardless of like hey, they're building up the world, seeing if there's other people around. It's like the mystery about what happened to Yoko's sister. Of course, there's the possibility of Yoko being a an android. But yeah, so I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Phineas Ferb, season 5, episode 14. So in the segments of this episode, so first segment, Doofenshmirtz is live streaming for some reason, and then he and Monogram get in an argument, and basically what happens is they decide to settle their argument over a soccer match between Alka and Love Muffin, and like basically during soccer match, obviously it's very heated, and while this going Face and Ferb, and all their friends, basically Isabella, Baljeet, Buford, they're like basically just throwing sticks at a target. And like basically then Fainsford create a giant target thing in order to give a target for Buford to throw something at, throw a stick at, and then like Candace is the first doctor. Then until she sees the giant target, she's like, then she calls for Linda, and to help Buford hit the target, Fainsford shift the shift the anvil like I think it's like 8 inches, and which allows Buford to hit, but also during the soccer match, due to a red flag, um, Doof gets a penalty kick, and the shift causes him to miss, which leaves the game in a tie. So basically, neither team's able to fulfill on the bet, which was so if Love Muffin won, then Monogram had to shave his mustache, and Carl will have to shave his head, and if Alco won, then Doof had to shave his head. So yeah, then the next episode, so Doof invents a nader to he plans to use to basically whoever gets hit by it is given his personality, and he tends to do that to use it on Roger, and like basically it's during like like the Danville Day like festival whatever, and so Doof hits it, it bounces off of Roger's teeth, hits Jeremy, and like with he starts trying to be like evil and it comes to like how like he does his like the slushy dogs. He even puts Dunkleberries on a slushy dog, and then another blast bounces off things like a trophy, hits Phineas Ferb, Isabella Buford Baljeet turns them evil, start talking about hunchbacks. They consider Candace to be their nemesis. They call her Candace the sister, and like basically they build Fundinators in order to take over the tri-state area, which basically just giant robots that look like Phineas and Ferb. So Candace tries to stop them, and she finds Vanessa, explains the situation. Vanessa's like, "Oh, the Naders? Okay, I know what happened. There's a self-destruct button." And Candace is like, "Oh, wait, how do you know?" And it's like, "Never mind." And then basically, so then Linda and Lawrence get hit by it too. They call Candace the daughter. So a bunch of different people keep getting hit by it. So that a bunch of people are like start acting evil, start acting like Doofenshmirtz. And then so the self destruct button on like is hit on the so what happens? So Candace like she's trapped in a ball. She like thanks the she asks the mysterious. She's like mysterious force. I one time I actually need you to get rid of the brother's inventions. So Doof falls on this like seesaw that knocks the Candace ball into onto the self-destruct button, destroys the devices, and then Perry destroys the innator that turned everyone into like Doof, and and basically everyone's personality is restored, and basically no one remembers what had happened. So yeah. So overall, I thought it was decent episodes. Like the live streaming thing's kind of weird. I was like, isn't there? I was like, isn't there an issue with a secret agency being involved with a live stream? Like concerning amount of people that know about about Alka, yeah. But yeah, overall, I like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Well, and that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.